Hi Miriam, welcome to From the Stage Door.
Hello, how are
Hey,
you?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Very well, thank you. Very
Good,
well.
good. So I'm going to start off with the first question, and it is: have you always had a passion for theatre and performance?
Absolutely. I think if you asked my mum, she would say I probably came out of the womb tap dancing. Maybe not tap dancing because I can't tap dance. What am I talking about? I was probably doing like a really intense monologue or something in my head. But no, I've always loved it from when I was really tiny. Me and my brother used to make like little puppets out of toilet roll, like
Okay.
the middle of a toilet roll, and we used to do like little plays and things for my parents. My brother was always on lighting with a torch, and it was the Miriam one woman show. Yeah, and then kind of got into youth theatre, and just I can't remember a time where I wasn't obsessed basically with theatre and storytelling and hearing, listening to other people tell stories, which is, I guess, what it's all about, isn't it? Kind of
Yeah.
connecting. And there's something about theatre. I love film and I love TV, but there's something about theatre where you're there, whether you're in the audience or whether you're on stage. There's the energy that's you can't have one without the other, as
Yeah.
we're finding in lockdown.
Yeah.
And there's just something that you can't you it's magical,
Mhm.
when on those nights where the audience and the performers are just connected and just, yeah, magic happens, and I love it.
Definitely, definitely. So, what was your first ever theatre job?
Oh, my first ever theatre job was a short film. Oh no, a short. My first ever theatre job was a short film. I'm going to start that again. My first ever theatre job was The Importance of Being Earnest,
Okay.
for a wonderful director called Jerry Hinks. And I played Gwendolyn, and it was the most excited I think I've ever been, just because I was like, I've got a job,
Yeah.
like, and I'm getting paid, and like it
Mm.
still kind of baffles me when you get paid. For,
Yeah.
I know that it's right, but I'm like, wow, how it's, yeah, you feel like the luckiest person in the world, I
Yeah.
suppose, to do the job that you love more than anything, and then get some money at the end of the week or the month, or you know whenever it
Yeah.
comes. But yeah, no, it was wonderful, and we toured around, and we were in a van and going to different theaters all over the country. Yeah, it was just it was amazing. It was so amazing, and he was wonderful, and just quite a lot older. I think he's in his 80s now, actually,
Wow.
and is an actor as well,
Mhm.
but kind of moved more into directing. Um, so it just had the best stories to tell, and when
Yeah.
you're working with somebody that's quite a lot older, I think that's the best thing about it, is you just
Mm.
get to hear, decades of fun times that they've experienced on jobs. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was lots of fun.
Brilliant. And who was your greatest influence growing up?
Oh my goodness, my greatest influence growing up.
Not necessarily performance related, just in life generally.
I'm gonna be really cheesy and say my dad, actually.
Okay.
Um, g- my dad is definitely my all-time hero. He grew up in a mining village in South Wales, and he basically left school at 15, no qualifications, and decided to go to England and make a go of it. And just like how hard he's always worked, and for us, and like just he's taught me the most important thing I think I've ever been taught in my life, which is, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't you don't have to have been born with millions of pounds. You make it happen, you work hard, and you value yourself, and you treat everybody kindly, and you just get on with it. And I think
Yeah.
that was the best lesson I could have ever had, and definitely in acting, because it's really tough, you know, and it's really you might go for quite a bit of time without getting a job, and you know, and you kind of go, oh God, what am I, but you have to just stick at it, you have to just keep working hard, you have to put yourself out there. So that mentality, I think, has helped me a lot, and my dad's definitely my hero.
So how do you deal with nerves when you're performing?
Well, it's a funny one, because I get so nervous, especially like the opening night, and then you know, the first week maybe of a run, I'll be so nervous before I go on, and you know, my heart will be going, sweaty palms, I'll be pacing up and down, thinking that I've forgotten all my lines, like repeating them to myself. But the minute I get on stage, something changes. It's like all that energy goes into what I'm doing, and I forget about it. Do you know what? I think I probably feel less nervous when I'm on stage than I do in just day-to-day life. I'm more worried about spilling my coffee, or like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Like everyday life, I find very difficult sometimes. And like, I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. But I guess when you go on stage, you don't have to worry, because you're not being you anymore. You're not having to deal with those things. So you kind of, you know, it goes, I think, when you get out there, hopefully. Although I have had one experience in my career, I hope it never happens again. But I'd been doing the show, maybe like I was like 5 weeks into the run, so it'd been on, you know, for a fair bit of time, and I had this moment where, and it was just me, the curtain was closed behind me, and I was talking to the audience, and suddenly I could see them all. And I know that sounds really weird, but like, that hadn't ever happened before. I was kind of in the moment, or I was doing my thing, but something happened, and I suddenly became very aware that there were like lots and lots of people in front of me listening to what I was saying. And I was like, what am I doing? I must be mad. And I suddenly just became really aware of the like craziness of the situation, and like, why on earth have I chosen as a career to get up in front of loads of people and try and, you know, speak to them, like and it all just kind of like got, and I remember I was like, you have to get through this, you have to get through it. And I got through it, and I don't think anybody noticed, but I came off stage, and like my castmate was waiting to come on, and I was just like, it was just bizarre. And luckily it hasn't happened again since, and I pray it never does, because it was weird. But anyway, I don't even know how I got onto that, but yes, nerves, there you go. That's how not to deal with it.
What would your dream role or dream show be?
I think well, I'd love to be in something like Titus Andronicus. I'd love to play like a really dark character like Tamora. But I'm gonna be honest, actually, my dream role is one that's yet to be written. I would like to kind of be in some new writing that's just been written, that's in development. A really strong woman with lots to say, and you know, and like a drama. I love drama. So yeah, I think that's my dream, is to be maybe in something at like the Young Vic or at the Bush, one of those theatres where it's a brand new piece of new writing, and we make it from scratch, and we're the first people ever to have done that play. I think that would be the dream. Or Iphigenia and Splot, because I love that play so much, and I can't remember the actress that did it. Apparently it's coming back, or it's supposed to be back on now. So who knows whether it'll happen, but yeah, something like that.
Cool, I like that. Have you ever done a job that you've left off your CV because it was really bad?
Absolutely not. Trying to think now. I don't think so. I think maybe at the beginning when I was starting out, and I think later on maybe I took earlier stuff, like the things that I'd done first of all off, because, well, I suppose to kind of keep it relevant and keep it updated.
Yeah.
But no, I'm proud of everything that I've been in. It's all been fun.
That's good. What advice would you give to your younger self?
The advice that I would give to my younger self is stop caring too much about what everybody else thinks. I spent so long, and not to say that I still don't do that now, but so long feeling like an imposter, really, I suppose. Feeling like I'd walk into a rehearsal room and everybody else knew what they were doing, and everybody else like had seen the guidebook of how to act.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, like, and so I would just kind of try and get through it and be like, oh God, does everyone think I shouldn't be here? Does everyone think I'm a fraud? You know, and like all those things. And I think I've just come to realize that really, I mean, it doesn't matter. And if we're telling stories, nobody's going to die if you get it too wrong, you know. Yeah. But also just that the most important thing is that everybody's nice to each other, and that's the thing that is important, not how great you are and how much you know about what you're doing and all of that. So yeah, I think I'd tell myself just to calm down a little bit, not worry what everyone's thinking, and to be myself, not think that I have to be something that I'm not in order to get by, you know?
Yeah, I think as a performer, it's very easy to overthink everything, isn't it? Which really doesn't help. Yeah, totally. So from the projects and shows that you've done, have you kept any props or costumes to take home?
I have. Yeah. I've got all sorts of weird and wonderful things. I've got I think so we met on Brassed Off.
Yeah.
Now I don't know whether you remember this, but there was a scene where I had some shopping, and I had to take the shopping out of this shopping bag. Yeah. And one of my lines mentioned the shampoo that I was getting out of the bag, and I was emptying the bag and there was no shampoo, and I was like, oh my God, the shampoo wasn't put in the bag. But I just thought, well, I'll just carry on. So I just said the line holding this tin of beans instead of the shampoo. And oh my God, and it was just before the interval, and the director came upstairs to the dressing room and he was like, you know, they were loving it, but half the audience have left now after that. Trying to get away with a tin of beans being some shampoo. I was like, oh my God. But so I kept the tin of beans. And somebody had written on it bean shampoo, and I kept that. I've got toilet roll. I've got from a play called The Sisterhood that I did. I've got a pair of shoes. I've got all sorts. Thank God for shows, honestly, because my wardrobe would be, you know, a lot smaller.
Yeah, it's nice to have mementos though, isn't it? Just silly things that remind you of happy times. I think it's really good.
Definitely, it's the best thing, because you, like a tin of beans or whatever, you look back and all the memories are just there in that whatever it is. And yeah, and I think it's a funny one with theatre. I think when you watch or when you work in like film or TV, there's always evidence of the job. Like, people are always going to be going back and watching it. But when you work in theatre, it's like a moment in time that happens, and it's magical. And the people that experience it, and then it's gone. Yeah. And it's like, did it even happen? I don't know, you know. And so to have something like concrete evidence that yes, you did do that job, and yes, you did have a great time, is really nice.
So what's been your most surreal moment when performing, like your most pinch me moment?
I think it would have to be performing 12th night at the Globe Theatre in Germany. Wow. It was one of those like experiences that I was so excited about it, but I didn't realize just how magical it would be. Just to perform in a theatre that's, you know, specifically been built like the Globe, you know, to you know, to be a replica of how people would have played back in the day, with a packed out audience, doing Shakespeare was, that was incredible, really incredible. And to travel as well. Because it was brilliant. Yeah.
So what is your favourite theatre to perform in?
Ooh, I'm going to say the Belgrade Theatre in Coventry. I love the Belgrade Theatre. I've done, I think, so this Christmas will have been the first Christmas in 7 years that I haven't worked there. So I started off, my first job there was doing the alternative adult panto. So it was like the Christmas show in the studio for people that, you know, wanted a good night out but maybe didn't want to go to the panto. And it was written and directed by Nick Walker, and it was just every single year the best time, and the theatre just became like home, and it became Christmas as well. It was like, oh, it's Christmas, so Coventry, you know, that's where I do Christmas. And yeah, it's a theatre that feels like home, mostly because of the people in it, the people that work there from top to bottom. Always a smile, always, you know, a hello on box office, or, you know, chatting to the bar staff. Just everybody in that building is wonderful, and I cannot wait to go back and see them all again, because it's just, I love it.
There's nothing like a Christmas theatre family, is there?
Absolutely.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Cool. What's been your most challenging role to date?
My most challenging role to date is, well, actually still in kind of the process. So it's a piece by a writer called Vanessa Oakes, and it's called Mademoiselle F, and it's based on a true story. It's about the first woman, the first person actually in the world to be diagnosed with OCD. So she was put into an asylum in Paris, and we were due to be doing it in August, and then it got put back, and then so hopefully we'll be doing it in kind of May, June time. But I guess it's a case of seeing what happens. But playing somebody with OCD is a huge responsibility, because you have to get it right, you know, and it's so complex, and it's not something, it takes a lot of research, and it takes a lot of work to make sure that you're doing a part like that justice. And in a French accent. So
throw that in as well.
So which is also, you know, so I think that as far as it's gone has been the most challenging, and it hasn't actually even gone on yet, but I think that's the one.
Cool. And who would you most like to work with in the industry, if you could choose anybody?
I would love to work with Denise Goff, who was in People, Places and Things. She was in Angels in America. I just think she's fantastic. And oh god, there are so many people that basically I want to work with everyone. I wouldn't say no to working with anyone. I would love to. I'd love to work with Denise Goff. God, I'm going to get off this chat and I'm myself, because there are going to be, I'll be like, oh, and in fact I might just call you back at like 10 o'clock and go, oh, and this person,
just edit this in.
But also, do you know what, as well as all the amazing heroes that there are in this industry, also working with friends is the best. And just being in a company where everybody gets on and gels and there's the right energy, that's the one for me. That's what I want.
Definitely. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you on stage?
Oh god. I mean, the bean shampoo was
pretty good.
There have been, I mean, just panto into the last was just carnage. It was just utter carnage. I can't even count the corpsing that went on stage. And the thing is with panto, it's like, forget everything you've ever learned about acting. You're allowed to laugh, you're allowed to get it wrong, and once you kind of get your head around that, you're like, right, what am I going to get wrong tonight? You know, transition. So, but I mean, there was a bit where, no, actually, I'm not going to do that story. It's inappropriate.
And now I want to know.
I'll tell you what, I'll tell you this one. I was waiting to come up. I wasn't waiting to come on stage. I had about a 15-minute gap between coming off stage and going back on. And I decided to have a little lie down underneath the props table. And on the props table was this bucket of water. And so I hear like we're getting closer to, I'm kind of lying down underneath the table, hear that we're getting closer, think, right, I better get up now to get ready, reach onto the table to kind of lift myself up, pull the bucket of water goes all the way down me, hair, I had a wig on, so wig, dress, everything. There was no denying the fact that I was absolutely sodden. And I didn't have any time to, like, the stage management crew were like running around me going, what? And I didn't have any time to do anything about it, so just went on stage and the actors just looked at me like, is everything okay? Like, carried on with the scene. I was like, so that was a moment. There was actually a moment at the Globe when we were doing 12th Night where my friend had said to me, right, I'm going to give you a dare to do tonight, because, you know, it's Shakespeare, no one knows what we're going on about anyway. So he was like, I've made up this word, cucumbrance, and it sounds like a real word. You've got to get it in, you've got to get it into the play. And so yeah, sat on stage with him in this scene, looked him straight in the eye, said my line, popped cucumbrance, this random word in, and he, you know, when like both of you are just trying to hold it together, and it wasn't a scene where we couldn't, you know, it was like just pulled it together, and then found out that the director had been sat up watching that night all along, and like, he didn't notice, so it was like, okay, it's all good, nobody knows. And it kind of goes to show that actually if you're in a Shakespeare play, you can just say any words you want, really, nobody knows what you're on about. We don't know. No, that's a lie. We've studied it for weeks.
It's all about confidence, isn't it? If you look like you're supposed to be saying it, nobody's going to question it at all.
Absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Right, quick fire round to finish.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh God.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Sun or rain?
Sun.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Musical or play?
Play.
Comedy or tragedy?
Tragedy.
Sweet or savoury?
Sweetery. All of it.
Okay, just generally. Meat or veg?
Oh, veg.
Hugs or kisses?
Kisses.
Night out or night in?
I mean, do we have a choice? I'm gonna go night out, just because why not, you know?
Yeah. Tour or West End run?
West End run.
Favourite film?
Coco.
Okay. Favourite book?
A Little Life.
Okay. And last one, ultimate comfort food?
Oh my goodness. Butter and jam sandwich, or jelly, however you want to say it, but you can't beat it. I often go downstairs at about 11 o'clock at night and just, you know, put one together. Why not?
Why not? Miriam, it's been lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been lovely.
You're welcome. I'll speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye.